Yes, I'm here. I'm back again. So I'm Adi Susanto, but normally people call me andivolcano. So I'm from Indonesia. I live in Yogyakarta. So this is like the city as the also one of the main destination of tourism in Indonesia. Well, so this time I'm again have very special guest. Yeah, I know her, but long time we never meet again because some things very far away, and again now because of pandemic. Yeah, so it's been long time. So she is my guest this time is Dr. Ingrid Smet. Actually, she is from Belgium, but now she live in Greek. Yeah. She is geologist and also get doctoral in Belgium. And everyone, good evening, selamat malam from Indonesia. So this podcast is very simple concept. First is I'm the actually tour guide volcanological tour guide specialist, photographer, videographer who has been long time about 15 years more, always work in volcano activity. And this pandemic, yeah, of course, no job, nothing. And then I create and initiated this podcast. This is actually first to keep learning from the expert, from my guest who has experienced a lot, and then for from tourism actors, from geologists, from volcanologists. Yeah. So this podcast is in the domain volcanological and geotourism. Yeah, from Indonesia to the world. And this time, so we have a topic that I have discussed together with our guests. This is about the journey of solar eclipse and volcanoes in Indonesia. Okay, so here maybe I would like to show you something, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, about this is profile of Ingrid Smet. Yeah, so I have his profile short. Yeah, so like this. Yeah, can you see this in the slide? Yeah, Dr. Ingrid Smet. What I like of her is she is also a tour guide. Yeah, so geo tour guide. Yeah. So not many maybe people geologists who like to work as also as a tour guide. Normally, maybe they want to go to the mining industry. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Sometimes volcanology is just like science. Yeah, it's not interesting. But since now, so I want to improve and then to promoting Indonesian volcanoes to all over the world. So yeah, give me permission to dedicate this to everyone. So Ingrid is yeah, is quite educated, and then he got master also from Belgium, and then now she works in in a Greek, yeah. And then I think Ingrid can say hello something to everyone here all over the world. Please, Ingrid. Yeah.
Selamat malam. Good evening to Jakarta.
Selamat malam.
It's 3 o'clock here in the afternoon in Greece. Very hot.
What time different, Ingrid?
3 o'clock in the afternoon right now.
Go ahead.
Well, I hope in the next hour or so, Andy and I can explain you a little bit more or show you about the beauty of Indonesia. And we decided the topic would be the last time I saw Andy. It's already 5 years ago, more than 5 years, when I went on a solar eclipse tour in the Indonesian volcanoes, which was 9 March 2016, a total solar eclipse that we could see from there. So welcome everybody, and I hope that you will enjoy.
All right, thank you, Ingrid. Now let's go. So Ingrid, don't be nervous, yeah. We just relax. You know, this is podcast, yeah. It's not webinar. It's talk show. So entertaining and content something. Yeah, it's educative like that. So Ingrid, it's been a long time we never meet, right? So I almost, you know, forget you after I create, you know, this podcast, you know. So I think last time we met in Indonesia in 2016, right? 9 March,
yep.
Right? Was it? So was in solar eclipse expeditions. So that was unforgettable, yeah. And Ingrid, so after that expedition, and then I think you busy, you know, in Europe, and then and where have you been after that? After Indonesia, so how many times? I don't remember well now. How many times you have been to Indonesia, and then how many volcanoes that you have been here? So that's why this is quite special. So I invited you because you have been here, and then maybe you would share something, your experience, yeah, regarding the topic, and then I hope everyone in the world, yeah, can hear this, and then relax and fun, you know. So you can take your cup of coffee or cooking cup of noodle, as usual. I'm doing in Indonesia. Okay, great. Yeah, please.
I have been in Indonesia actually only 2 times, sadly, but I've seen many volcanoes in the time. The first time was 2015. We went to Sinabung, which had been erupting, I think, for 2 years before. And it's still having big ongoing explosions, I believe, and pyroclastic flows with times. So we were waiting for 3 days at Sinabung volcano, and at the end we did have some beautiful eruptions. And then I joined really interesting from Krakatau to Bali trip. So that was about 3 weeks that I spent in Indonesia in 2015. I had never been to the country, and I really enjoyed it from many different backgrounds, actually. For the volcanoes, there are many different volcanoes. There are different landscapes, but also the people. Every island is different, has different culture, different backgrounds. And especially the non-touristic places, the people are really amazing. They're still truly hospitable, and they take you into your home to drink, to eat something. And I also actually like the food very much in Indonesia. So too much food, yeah. And the second time that I went was in 2016 for the solar eclipse. So then I explored some more the volcanoes around the Moluccan Sea. And I wanted to go back for Batutaraya, but then the volcano stopped erupting, so that didn't happen. Then I changed jobs, and then we had the pandemic. So I have to postpone my next trip to Indonesia for the future. But as soon as I can, I definitely will be back.
Yeah. Ingrid. So maybe everyone, I'm actually I've been working as well a long time since 2008 with a German company. So this is one of the most leading volcano travel in the world. Yeah. So which is called Volcano Discovery. And actually Ingrid also, she has been worked there, yeah. So for a couple of years like that. And then she made book together also with the founder of Volcano Discovery, Tom Favor. And then yeah, she has done a lot, about promoting Indonesia. So thank you very much, Ingrid. Indonesian people, we like you because you always promote Indonesian. And Ingrid, as geologist, uh, what is your in your opinion? So why Indonesia is interesting for you?
As a geologist, because Indonesia is a country that has the most active volcanoes in the whole world. I mean, above the sea level. Yes, I think you have about 25 active volcanoes. No, sorry. How many active volcanoes do you have in Indonesia?
Oh, here, maybe I can show you something about volcanoes in Indonesia. Voila, here, Ingrid. So this is it's quite, it's a lot, yeah. I think it's
No,
about
so yes, more than 100,
13
yeah.
to 15% volcanoes are located in Indonesia. So here we have, there are 127 active volcanoes, and then each volcanoes categorized in type A, B, C. A means this is active, B means dormant, and then C is sleeping. Yeah. So type A means a volcano that has periodic of eruptions, history of eruption since 1600. And type B, there is no historical of eruption since 1600. Type C is no data or no historical eruptions, but there was, yeah, like volcanoes that still spewing fumarole gas and thermal normally like that. So this is, yeah, Indonesia. It's a lot, actually thousand, but also we have so many geotourism to extinct volcano. So here we can see ophiolite, we can see extinct volcano that, from, because Indonesia is located in the subducting zone, between Indo-Australian plate and then Eurasian Asian plate like that. So that's why this is form a lot of volcanoes that, yeah, form from this collide from the two tectonic plates. Okay, Ingrid. And then,
Well, there are so many active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes. The country is literally existing of a large amount of islands that are mostly volcanic. So if you like geology in general, and if you like volcanoes, there are so many things to explore. Because even a sleeping volcano or dormant one, you have really interesting landscapes. Some of the landscapes of the volcanoes, it's like a moonscape. You have the different gases, the different mineralizations. So I really like Indonesia from the aspect that there are so many different volcanoes to choose from to go and explore. Even if they're not erupting at the moment, you have beautiful walks, beautiful scenery. The nature in Indonesia, it's beautiful. They have so many fauna and flora that they're still preserving. And like I said before, like every island is different. It's a big mixture of different religions, different cultures, and it is fascinating to travel to the country. I remember when we went to Java, I was really surprised how to see that traveling from West Java to East Java, you could really see the difference within the tradition of the people, but also the difference in how touristic it was. The West was not touristic at all yet at the time. So when we went to Krakatau, people literally invited us to have a tea in their house, and it was not, they meant it. They said, come on in, have a drink. The school children, they saw, tourists from Europe, they wanted to take photographs with us, and it was very authentic and really heartwarming. And as we went from West Java to Central Java, there is more tourism there. Eventually to East Java, which is really touristic, you could feel the difference. In East Java, they would tell you can take a photograph from me for $1 or something. So you could really actually feel. It's also very beautiful, of course, to visit East Java. There is a reason why people go there. But this made a big impression on me to see how tourism is really changing also the way that the local people are interacting with foreigners. And there's so many islands of Indonesia, so many regions that are left unexplored or that are not so touristic, where I'm sure that you will have great hospitality and authentic hospitality also. And one thing that's very important is that you have a good guide. And as Andy said, I was working before as a volcano tour organizer, leader, expedition for volcano discovery, volcano adventures. So I was working together with Andy, we are colleagues, and he is the go-to guy for Indonesia. He goes, there's no volcano in Indonesia Andy can't take you to. And what I really appreciate is that he works with the local people. He has his own crew. He's got a couple of 4 or 5 people that he's been training. Since I met you, Andy, I know that you've been training people all over Indonesia. You've given courses and conferences to make people aware about geotourism and really important sustainable tourism. And I really like that aspect that, you would have your own team, but you would work in small groups. You would always clean up everything. You were very careful about the environment. And wherever you would go, you also always hire local guides. So to make sure that also the local people are involved. And then, you have stories from them, you have food that they make. And it's not just going and see a volcano erupt or seeing the nature. I felt that my trips to Indonesia, it was really like getting submerged in the local culture, in the local tradition. For example, for the solar eclipse, we went to an island that was right in the pathway of the full solar eclipse. And there was no other tourists beside us. There were no other foreigners. And we were literally sleeping in the houses of the local village people. So they said, okay, yes, we want to open our houses to the tourists and travelers that you're bringing from all over Europe and America, actually. Our group was very international. And 2 by 2, we were placed with the families. So we were living with them for a couple of days, which is a completely different experience, of course.
Yeah, Ingrid, so in Java, how many volcanoes have you been? I think start from Krakatau, and then continue to Papandayan volcanoes. This is in West Java, and Merapi, and Bromo.
Bromo, Ijen.
Yeah. And then I think.
But also Sinabung volcano. And then on the solar eclipse tour, I saw, Kiabesi volcano, from where we saw the solar eclipse. And then after this, we explored also Lokon, Soputan, and Karangatang. So I think I've seen at least 10, probably some like 12 different active volcanoes in Indonesia. So only 115 to go, right? We get 127.
So which volcano do you think is quite special during in Java first?
In Java, I really love Krakatau, of course, because it's a very famous one. But for the people that are listening and might not be so aware of it, Krakatau is famous for the 1883 eruption that sort of blew away the whole island and created huge tsunamis on the west coast of Java. Since that eruption, it had made a new volcano in the center. And I visited it once. We had many tours going there. But I think, was it Christmas 2019 or 2020? That it again had a big eruption and the island again got destroyed. So right now the volcano is again going through the new phase of building a new cone. So it's a dangerous volcano. Of course, when you travel with Andy or any specialized volcano tour guide, they know they're following all the signs. They're going first to the volcanological observation centers. This is very important. Whenever I speak with people about volcano tourism, you have to make sure that you go with knowledgeable people, that they work together with the observatories, that work together with the local community or the local government, and that they know the volcano and they check like hours before what is the situation, you know, because they can see whether or not it's going to be erupting in a more dangerous way. So I really like Krakatau because it was such a famous one, but right now it completely changed again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Bromo is very it's very touristic there, and the Tenger caldera, but it's very scenic. It's very beautiful, the caldera. Also looking down into the crater of Bromo, it's very impressive.
Yeah, hello?
Right?
Yeah. Ingrid?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, very good. Okay then. So Ingrid, and after from Java, I think she'll come back. Yeah. So actually, you are the person that, in my experience, never give me feedback, but always come back. So I know what does that mean. Yeah. So like my most client, you know, that has been work with me together. So they always come back until repeat again, you know, until 2 until 6 times, you know. I don't know why this. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Uh,
yeah.
You're
Go
a
on.
very good expedition leader. When I was for the German companies Volcano Adventures, Volcano Discovery, when I was
Right.
organizing also the expeditions to Indonesia, I often had clients that said, well, we've been with Andy to this volcano, to this volcanoes, to this volcanoes. What other tour can we do with Andy now? Or they would literally say, ask Andy if he knows anything new that's interesting, and we'll go with him. So you are the Indonesian volcano tour guide and expedition leader. So you're knowledgeable, people feel safe in your hands, and you're just also a lot of fun to travel with, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember Ingrid. So maybe your dream that still never come true is you wanted to go to Batutaraya. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Batutara is quite amazing volcano that located in the middle of the Flores Sea at the time, you know, 2016, and then yeah, was stopped. Yeah. And I think after solar eclipse. So actually, Ingrid, could you share something story about your solar eclipse expedition? Maybe I would like to, after this I will show you something about maybe uh, will be gonna like there is next, you know, solar eclipse. I think also, you know, will pass through Indonesia. Yeah. So how was your experience, Ingrid? So before I give you information about the next solar eclipse in Indonesia, when was in 2016, right? Yeah.
yes. There was a total solar eclipse in 9 March 2016 that was going partially over Indonesia. And because it was a couple of the volcanoes in Indonesia were right into the full eclipse zone, we had like a 3 minutes of total eclipse. We decided with the company that we were going to make a combination, like, you know, watching a solar eclipse from a volcano. I never seen a solar eclipse before, and it's really quite special in any case. I was surprised with the fact that when it comes to solar eclipse tourism, it's much bigger actually than volcano tourism. I had no idea because I was working in the volcano tourism. But I realized that from more than a year or 2 years before, all the hotels in Ternate,
Yeah,
many
was
or they were all
completely
fully
full
booked.
book.
Yes, and there was a princess from one of the neighboring Asian countries that she was going
Yeah.
to Ternate. So you had these big spanners in the streets welcoming the princess towards the solar eclipse. So that by itself was really surprised for me that there is a really big market or industry when it comes to solar eclipses or other these astronomical events to see. But I really like the fact that we did it in an alternative way, Andy, that you said, okay, everything is fully booked, but we don't care. We fly to Ternate, the capital of the islands there. And from there, we take a ferry and we go to one of the volcano islands that are in the path. And there were no other tourists. There was nobody else. It was us with the village people. And observing the eclipse, we had the whole island to ourselves. And it was quite spectacular, actually, of course, to see everything becoming dark. They had made a number of special solar eclipse glasses, with a company logo on it for our clients, but we brought extra. And it was nice to see the children and the local people, sharing the glasses to also be able to see it. We don't just go there and take, we're also explaining to them, sharing with them. It was a really nice experience, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Ingrid?
Yes?
Okay. Was a little bit like before. Yeah. So, Ingrid, I would like to share something. This is, I found, that here there is information. Maybe I can show in the website. So, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here the informations that there will be eclipse again in Indonesia through Indonesia. This is in 2023, and then
Okay. I
actually,
want to do that.
yeah. So that normally this is I have to prepare the expeditions at least 2 years before. Yeah. So this is the solar eclipse. Yeah. This is will be in Indonesia like this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then here actually there is also two times solar eclipse in the world, but yeah, it's not visible from Indonesia. Here you
Mm-hmm.
can see in 2021, yeah, but can be seen
Ah, yes.
from America and then Latin America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is quite amazing website that we can uh, predict about the solar eclipse like this. Yeah, and then yeah here, so we will have again solar eclipse in Indonesia in 2023 in April, in 20 April. Yeah, so I hope pandemic completely over. Yeah, Ingrid. Yeah. So we already tired with this. Yeah, with the pandemic.
Everybody's tired.
Yeah,
Everybody's tired with the pandemic.
everybody tired. Yeah. So let's hope, and then let's do be disciplined together, keep health, and got vaccinated. Yeah, this is what we want. Yeah. So look, Ingrid, there will be solar eclipse. So this is will be the journey special. Yeah. So I would
Mm-hmm.
like to tell you, solar eclipse is not really common tool. Yeah. This is expedition. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not many guide at the times was there to become expedition guide for solar eclipse. Yeah. It's no way. For me, I also never had experience. Yeah. So how to to make positioning and how to make location and then yeah so and then at the times yeah for me was crazy and then but we have so many people in the group at the times I lead about 16 people in the group and then four of them they are astronomers of course for me this was crazy so I never was even I never seen solar eclipse in my life. Maybe just I was child, yeah. And I decided this because my I'm very knowledgeable about volcanoes, and then I decided to set up location near volcanoes. So at the times, after from Ternate, maybe I can show you this one. Yeah, this is Ternate. Yeah, I think yeah. So like
Mm-hmm.
this now, you can see Ternate here. Yeah, this is the island and quite famous, which is called the Spice Islands. Yeah, was famous from 15th to 16th century because of the spice. trading, and from Ternate, and then we moved to here, to these islands. So people actually, most people, they wanted to stay in Ternate because this is the center line, and then also here some people, they went to east of Halmahera because also yeah, there is NASA over there before, but I decided different because in Ternate is just people are too much, yeah, people are too many, so even they sell like a place, like spot, yeah, hotel are, hotel full book, yeah, everything full book, yeah, and then finally I decided to go here. Yeah, this is Makian. This is Kiabesi volcano, and then no tourists, nothing. And then this is was right, and here finally was success because yeah, we can see like this. So I can write something, make like like this, and then we got here from east of, yeah, and then like this, yeah, here the solar, so like this, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, yeah, and then yeah, we got luck, and then my knowledge and experience was right, and then near volcano in the mornings is normally quite clear, right?
Yeah.
Very very clear, and then was amazing. But to be honest, Ingrid, so set up that kind of expedition is also was first time for me. To be honest, yeah. And then how to manage, the expedition, because yeah, we couldn't go to many places. So I have some documentation, yeah, about here. Maybe you remember, Ingrid. So I have like slide. Yeah, look, maybe you can remember one by one. This is not many photos. So this is
Yes.
when we were sailing to Makian Islands, right?
Yeah.
Here,
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
the boat was very traditional. Yeah, just yeah, to bring us there. Life jacket is also no. Yeah, so so I asked the captain, please, to provide life jacket,
Yeah.
and was also very difficult to provide some bintang. You know bintang. Remember, Ingrid?
Binsang, of course, the famous Indonesian beer.
Indonesian famous, yeah, beer, yeah, yeah. For European, yes, no problem. But Ternate is quite a religious city. Yeah, it was very difficult. Yeah. And then also
To
I
find.
organized for to get ice, in the box. And yeah, this is the village. Yeah, in
Yeah.
Makian. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
behind is Kiabesi Volcano, which was in level 2. I was, yeah, it's more active at the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
many earthquake, and then yeah, increase of the seismic. And then finally, so this is, yeah, we were able to see this, Ingrid. Yeah, was amazing,
Yeah.
and then for me it's big luck. Yeah, and then again, this is
With
our team, right?
yeah.
So you remember, Ingrid, about this?
Yes, I remember. I also like that you were very flexible because originally we were thinking to hike the volcano and to see the eclipse from the top of the volcano. But then we realized we were there 1 or 2 days before that actually in
Yeah,
the mornings there was clouds forming around the summit. So if we would climb it, we wouldn't see anything. So we stayed below. We were in the harbor, the little harbor from the village. Like all the tripods of the clients lined up, one next to the other with a lot of space to photograph and follow the eclipse, and then we climbed the volcano after the eclipse. Actually, I chose my background photo today. It is a photo on the way back, hiking back down from this volcano, and you see the next volcanic island. So yeah, I adjusted my background. it's really nice memories. Yeah, it was a good
And
time. And important also to be flexible in the moment. You know, the plan is to see the solar eclipse from the summit of the volcano. But if you realize that there's going to be clouds, we just change the plan and we first watch the eclipse and then afterwards we climb the volcano. That's important. That all the time you have to reevaluate and readjust the plans that you make, especially on an expedition like this, where you have to really look at the local circumstances.
yeah, many people say, I'm not a normal guide. Sometimes I
You're not.
change the itinerary, from the first, if one volcano once erupt, in the beginning, I change the all schedule and I change, otherwise maybe I was gonna be get late, to this volcano, which is, it was erupting at the time. And then look, in the journey of solar eclipse in 2016, yeah.
Yeah.
And then was also like very quite flexible, and then but I explained a lot about this flexibility. And then how was your feeling when you were sleeping with the local people? No airco, no toilet, no water. Ingrid, please tell us, yeah, before we
It's
plan
an
to the
adventure.
next journey of solar eclipse. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. If you go, of course, on an expedition with Andy to islands that are not so touristic, you have to be adventurous in mindset. In Ternate, in the touristic places, you will have an excellent hotel, where you have everything you want. Food-wise, wherever Andy takes you, he brings the ingredients, he brings good cooks. I remember Donald and Christopher, they made great breakfast for us when we were on top of the volcano in between. But at the same time, sometimes when there's no local hotels, or it's more interesting to stay with the local people, then you will, like us, stay in a place where they had a very basic bathroom, the people that we stayed with, I remember on the island. But it's interesting. But you have to know, of course, on beforehand that, in between the hotels, that you might have more basic, but like authentic, real experience of how the people are living on, for example, Volcanic Island in Indonesia, where there's no tourism. I personally like it because I know it's not going to be forever. It's just a few days. I also traveled to many other active volcanoes in the world. And I guess the one that was the most basic was Ternate in Ethiopia, where
In Ethiopia.
for 1 week, we were on a shield volcano. There is no running water, no electricity, no toilet. And you know this from beforehand. So it's not for everybody, but if you like some adventures, and you're prepared for this for a few days, it's interesting because it shows you a completely different side from the world, from life, I think. Yes. I remember the people we were staying with at the house, they were very friendly. And the children, they loved for us to take photographs of them, and then they wanted to look on the cameras. And the other way around, I gave my camera to one of the kids, and he was running around making photographs of everything. And yeah, it's a different way of traveling. We do our things, we do the solar eclipse, we photograph it, we hike the volcano. Very important also that we were going to the volcano observatories. Andy always you have the maps of the volcano with you. You explain, you go and check the activity on beforehand. But we also just spend some hours with the people, just explore as much as you want, talk with them, go around the village. And I remember now, they also had a welcome ceremony for us on the next island. Which was it? Was it Moti? Was it Mare?
Yes,
Remember,
Mari. Maybe
yes.
you remember I have
Yes.
this video about Mare. When you just said about Mare, maybe let's see this in 2 seconds. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I remember, yeah.
at that time is unbelievable. So I didn't plan for that, but people just welcoming us like that. That's called, yeah, the traditional dance of, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it's Cukulele. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken. Yeah, this is from
I can't remember
not Molak. Yeah.
the name. I think we were more than a day, or we were one day, more than a day before the eclipse. We were on the island to be prepared to know the layout and where would be the best way to observe it. And then we went to the volcano observatory of the island that we were staying on, the volcano that we were staying next to, on one of the next islands. And then we visited Mare, just, to explore a bit the neighborhood. And I remember that when we arrived there, the people had organized this traditional dance, and they had organized a huge amount of food for us. And I remember, Andy, that you really didn't know about it. I remember that you were so surprised and so happy that it was authentic. It was very nice.
Yeah, this is maybe a location of Mare. You still remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Mare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here. So actually, here some volcanic chains. Yeah, volcanic chains that can be seen even from Ternate. Yeah, it was here. There is islands Ternate. This is like this. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
volcanic chains. Yeah, this is from Ternate. Hiri also volcanic. Tidore, and then but Mare especially is not volcanic. Yeah, here
I
Makian
remember.
is volcanic again. Moti,
Yeah.
this is the island which is the observatory post located. This is also
Yeah.
volcanic, but Mare is not. This is
Yeah.
yeah, it's a coral like that. This was quite amazing, but the people was very nice,
Yes, very
welcome us like
welcoming.
that. Yeah, was surprised, and then they invite us to go to the dolphin area and to the what is that, like White Island, which people, yeah, this is actually island that was uplifting, maybe until now is uplifting. So when there is low tide, and then yeah, the island can be seen is like white. So it's always when in a high tide, yeah, like that. And then yeah, you were snorkeling.
Ah, Indonesia is the best place to snorkel. I didn't try it in many places in the world, but by far the best snorkeling I did was with you in Indonesia, Krakatau, and also Mari, and close to Sia Island, Karangetang. Yes, really amazing. That's one of the reasons I also want to go back actually to Indonesia to do some snorkeling.
Karangetang. Wait, so I can here Ingrid, I can type Karangetang, and then sorry because like this I operate everything myself in GTA. I operated everything. Then I can show you. I put in the screen Karangetang, and then you remember this.
Yes, you looked a lot younger back then, Andy.
I was look younger and slimmer because of pandemic. Now I'm more. It's less activities. Yeah. And then okay, this is was in I think it's in Moti, yeah, in Makian Observatory Post. Okay, this I explain everything about expedition to solar eclipse. Yeah. Maybe success, maybe not. Yeah, but I always convince everyone, yeah, to be ready with everything. If you remember, in the programs actually, in the first night, yeah, we should stay in the hotel, right? But it's no hotel, so I changed to the local houses. No electrical in the night sometimes. Yes, cut off, and then in that island, water is very limited. It's only spring water, hot thermal water, but water is very expensive there. So I asked everybody to take a shower in the beach. You remember to the sea.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Akit. And then remember this, Ingrid?
Yes, a long hike. I think the volcano was 1,200 meters high, and we started from sea level literally. So it was a pretty difficult hike for me because I wasn't prepared. I didn't do any exercise or training before. And in Indonesia, of course, you have the humidity. You know, it's very warm, but it's also very humid, and that's something that I always have to get used to again when I arrive in your country.
And this one, what do you think about this one? This is in a very
The morning,
narrow. Remember,
it was
Ingrid?
in the morning when we woke up on the top of the volcano. The day before, we had seen the solar eclipse. After the solar eclipse, which was like 10 in the morning, I think, we hiked up the volcano. Yeah, Kiabesi volcano it was. Yes, on Makian
Yeah,
Island.
yeah.
And
Oh
then
my
we slept
God.
there, and then we woke up in the morning there. Yeah.
So how was your experience, of climbing at that time, Che?
It was a bit difficult, as I said. Yeah. I'm not so sportive, as you know. I'm not, at that time especially, I was not very physically trained, and I had a cold. I
Yeah.
gotten from flying in the plane and the air conditioning. I got a bad cold on my lungs, so it was a difficult climb. But I remember that everybody was so helpful. You had a lot of people also that you hired from the village to help us
Yeah.
carrying all our things, and I made it in the end. But yeah, but as I said, we had this amazing view that you can see behind me, so it was worth it completely.
And so I know that you love kids, you love children, Indonesian, and then I collect this from your Facebook. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
uh, food that. What is this? Yeah, wait, Ingrid. Here, voila. Look, this is the children that you always like it. Take photos. Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
authentic, yeah, genuine. Yeah,
Yes, yes, they are. It's in some places where there are more tourism, they're not so authentic anymore. They will come to you and they will try to. In the best case, they try to get candy, but many places by now they're trying to get money, or trying to sell you something, or which is fine. But if you have these children in a village where um, they haven't maybe seen really people from Europe, Caucasian people, and they're watching what we're doing and the photographs that we're taking. It's very nice. You can see the innocence, the purity, the authenticity from them, and I like that a lot. Yeah.
yeah. And remember, yeah, this is the food what we have, and they're always fresh.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why this is called story, experience, and sharing. And now this is a very beautiful story that we can share to everyone in the world about the
Mm.
food. Very, traditional. What was really delicious. Yeah, the fish is
Very
fresh
tasty.
like this.
I mean, I've traveled now to different parts of Indonesia, and always have the local food with the local ingredients, but it's always really nice and fresh and different flavors. It's yeah, I like it. I like it very much actually. Sitting here remembering and talking to you, I'm thinking, when could I go again? I have a question for you actually, Andy.
Yes,
In
please.
2023, you said there's going to be a full solar eclipse in Indonesia. Which islands? Which part of
Oh, here.
Indonesia?
So according to the information, this is in Molak. So I can share again
Mhm.
here. Yeah. So according to this information, the
Mhm.
timeanddate.com. This is look. This is a yeah. And then the solar eclipse will pass. In Molak,
Again.
Papua. Yeah, different. In
Okay.
2016 was in not Molak, but this is Molak and
Mhm.
then some Borneo. Yeah,
Okay. You have
like
some
this.
active.
Yeah, was this is fantastic. Yeah, this is the information about the next solar eclipse. Yeah, and this is, I don't know. This is detailed eclipse path maps. So that's why. So from now, I would like to prepare of this. I will book hotel from now, from 2 years. Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, like before.
And do you already know on which volcano you want to go and see the solar eclipse?
Not yet. So let's do it. Yeah. So I will
What?
study about the center line now. I have experience, so I will discuss with some client before that they are astronomers, and I still
Yes,
keep in
Paul.
contact. So most of my clients always contact me and they ask me, Andy, what about your life, pandemic, and then like this. So I think maybe they love Indonesia and then they want to come back, and then yeah, since Indonesia have many volcanoes, beautiful with the geomorphology, landscape, and local culture, languages, and then yeah. So I think that's why. So based on your experience, though, yeah, I hope that this is will inspire everyone in the world. Yeah, so don't forget Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is very very beautiful. So this is
It
the
is.
way I would like to promote. Yeah, and then
And it also,
it's good. Yes, yes,
sorry
yes,
to
Ingrid.
interrupt you, but I'm thinking
Go on. Yeah.
it also feels very safe to travel there, because some people ask me, okay, Indonesia, do you feel safe when you travel there? And there are different, we've traveled to parts where the main religion was Catholic. We were traveling in parts where the main religion was Muslim. We traveled to parts where they had Buddhism in Bali, but it was more touristic, less touristic. But I've actually always felt safe when I was traveling in Indonesia, which I think is important, more and more important these days. But yeah,
Yeah. Before, sometimes people from uh, foreign countries, some people they know Indonesia is like Islamic State, like that, but actually not. Indonesia is
no,
based on uh, unity of diversity, and then Indonesia is moderate country. Yes,
yes,
the majority are Muslim, but we have six official religions.
yes.
But since you have been here, and then yeah, what's your feeling about Indonesia? So it's nothing. So what do you think, Ingrid? How was your feeling when you traveling here?
Exactly. That I always felt safe. And if people look up and see that Indonesia is a Muslim country, they say, okay, maybe it's difficult to travel, or maybe you're not allowed to go on a beach in bikini, or maybe they're very big restrictions. And it's true that in some places it's difficult to find alcohol, but okay, you don't travel for the alcohol. And in any way, Andy can always
Yeah,
find it for you. You go with Andy, you will have it. But I felt that it was a safe place, and it's definitely whatever religion it has, a Catholic, a Muslim, Buddhism, wherever part of Indonesia that you go, it's moderate, it's very welcoming. And I remember really liking the fact that you have all the different religions in one country, and they're working together. I mean, as it should be. They are side by side, and everybody's respecting the other religion and their neighbors. And it's never been a problem for me at all.
yeah.
Actually, it gives a really interesting heritage, because I remember in Java we visited a couple of UNESCO World Heritage
Temples,
temples,
Borobudur
monuments.
Temple, the biggest,
Yeah,
the biggest Buddhist temple in the world. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, yeah, my experience of Indonesia is really nice, actually. Very tropical country, very friendly, very kind, and you have so many different landscapes and natural and cultural interests that you can find, and food. It would be definitely, it's still on my list of top countries to travel and visit.
Yeah, Ingrid. Here I found also a picture. remember this? What is
Yes.
this? Maybe here.
Um, these ones, I still have them. So the islands where we were observing the solar eclipse, it's in the Moluccan
Yeah.
Sea, and they are the Spice Islands, if I remember correctly, and they have nutmeg, and the other one, I forgot the name of the other one. I think cloves, nutmeg and cloves. The front one is
Yes,
drying,
exactly.
is drying on
It's
the floor,
clove, yeah.
and behind the bigger one, darker, bigger ones, it's the nutmeg. So that's actually the main export of these islands, this area in Indonesia. And I bought nutmeg from there, and I'm still using when I'm cooking. I'm still using the nutmeg from Indonesia. You know, I'm rasping it fresh. So whenever I run out, I have to come back.
Ingrid, this for me is very big memory. You always bring this stuff, you know. I will show you. Don't be surprised, yeah. So wait, this I'm gonna show you here. What is thing? What do you think about this here? What is this
That's a long,
actually?
it's a long story. That's Volcano Croc. So when I started doing my PhD on active volcanoes in Greece, I picked up this plush crocodile cuddle toy, and somehow it became the mascot of my PhD. And it's like really small, like this size, and it ended up traveling with me to all the volcanoes actually in the world. So yeah, it's like a mascot that I took. And many of the clients or the friends, they really liked it. So this crocodile has photographs on all the volcanoes that I've been, and usually also likes to try the local liquor. But yes, these days he's retired. It's somewhere in a corner, somewhere in my house. But yes.
And then now still there, existing the doll, the croc.
Yes, I still have him. I still have him. But the moment
Oh
that I
really?
got my dog, yes, I have now for 2 years and a half my dog, who was born on an active volcano. So I have a volcano dog. And I didn't think that the puppy would go very well with the very old crocodile, plush crocodile. So Volcano Croc, he's retired. He's sitting somewhere in a cupboard, safe. But if I ever come back to Indonesia, or no, when I will come back to Indonesia, I will bring him.
Which
Especially for
volcanoes
you.
you want to go, Ingrid?
Okay, if we have the solar eclipse in 2023, then of course whatever volcano is closest there. But I didn't have the chance to go to Flores yet. And you have
Oh yeah,
Kelimutu
beautiful islands.
volcano. Exactly, yes. And also you have the
And
Komodo.
the dragon, you know, the Waran Komodo
Yes.
Islands. Yeah.
So
It's
I want
really
the
really beautiful.
combination of
Yeah,
the landscape.
you must come back.
Kelimutu volcano. Yeah. That's still high on my list. I didn't see Ibo Dukono volcano yet either. And really, I think that you can come up with many new ideas still for volcano expeditions and exploring.
And this is Ingrid. So I got also another picture. This is I think the last one. What is this
Ah,
here?
yes. Sulfur
This is your
crystals, right?
picture.
Yes. No, I can see. It's sulfur crystals. I think it was on the volcano of Soputan. And
Yeah.
if you have
Soputan
an
is
active
in North
volcano,
Sulawesi. Yeah.
and it had a number of lava flows on the foot. On the top, it was definitely still smoking, still hot. And in the little cracks,
Soputan.
actually on the lava flow on the bottom, I found these sulfur crystals that had formed from degassing. Yeah.
Soputan volcano. Here I will try to get it. Here Ingrid.
Yes, that's it.
Voila. Yeah. That's why a lot of this lava
Yes,
flow at the times. Yeah. So from this
you see
side, yeah.
lava flows left and right, the
Yeah.
darker flows, and most recent ones. Yeah.
Remember we came here for the
Yeah.
whole night, and then it was glowing actually on the top, yeah. But
I remember I woke up in the middle
couldn't
of the
see, yeah,
night. Mhm.
with
And,
only with camera.
yeah.
All right. Wow. Ingrid, it's because it's very interesting, you know. So now we are almost gonna end our podcast. Yeah, 2 minutes more. It's look like very quick, you know. And I want that maybe
Yes.
Ingrid, do you have some suggestion? Do you have some comments? Do you have some advices maybe to the people all over the world? Maybe even for the
Wow.
beginner or even who have experience, you know, about
Hmm.
Indonesia. So can you recommend something before we end? Yeah.
First of all, from my experience as a volcanologist doing research and also as a volcano tour expedition leader, a question I often get from people is, isn't it dangerous to go to volcanoes? And the answer is, of course, it can be very dangerous to go to volcanoes, especially active ones, but it's worth it. So I would say that if you're interested in natural phenomena and you want to go and see active volcanoes, uh, you can look into it and you should definitely do it. But you have to make sure that you have somebody you can trust, that you have an experienced and a responsible local volcano tour guide and local volcano expedition leader. Because that's a question I get very often, like, isn't it dangerous? Crossing the street is dangerous, but you have to know how and when to do it. It's the same with volcanoes. They are dangerous, but if you go with the right people, um, it's a very spectacular and unforgettable experience. And it's not just my opinion, it's many of the clients that I helped organizing unforgettable tours in Indonesia with. They would all say that, okay, with Andy, we'd go anywhere. This is not just, you know, some marketing. This is for real. If I would be on an erupting volcano in Indonesia, I would want to be there with Andy or with any of the people that you're training now, like Donald and Christopher, because I know that you have all the knowledge, the background to do this as safely as possible, to get close to a volcano, to really experience nature, but at the same time doing it in a safe way. And Indonesia is the best place to go because you have experienced tour guides there. You have 127 volcanoes to choose from, and you also have such a variety in fauna, flora, different animals, and in the food. So I think that Indonesia really is a great destination for geotourism and just tourism overall. And I definitely want to see you again, Andy. I will be
Yeah.
back. I'm actually already thinking now for 2023 for the solar eclipse. We have
All
to
right.
stay in touch for sure. Keep me a spot on this tour. Give me a spot, please, on the expedition. I'll start
Yeah.
saving up now.
Yeah. About the solar eclipse. Yeah. This is I just got information from the I think reliable source. Okay, Ingrid.
Mm.
Thank you very much for our togetherness. You know, during 1 hour is quite amazing, and then something that now we have more optimistic that this pandemic will get over soon. Yeah, and then as you said that people who want to go Indonesia, especially from the foreign countries, you know, they should have the competent guide, right? So it depends
Yes.
of the speciality. For example, like to the volcanoes, active volcanoes, you must have like, yeah, maybe not many people that really they are volcanolog, you know, guide. Yeah. But still, now we have geotourism that now this is, has been developing. Geotourism that, you know, we have concept, you know, about geodiversity, cultural diversity, and then biodiversity, and then more. So how to create this with the collaboration, pentahelic, how to improve the local economy. But still, we have to keep the conservation. So this is our, yeah, our main concept, yeah, to develop geotourism. Okay, Ingrid, please say goodbye to everyone and thank you very much. See you next time.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy. It was really nice to see you and to talk with you again. And I would just say to everybody everywhere that was following, all the best. Stay safe during the pandemic. And I hope you really enjoy if you ever go on travels to Indonesia. I don't think you
Yeah,
will regret it.
maybe next time I will invite you again.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, Ingrid, bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.